Alright. Wow, my hair looks terrible. My hair, look at this. Look at this. Like, look, you see this little part that disconnects right here? Yeah, I don't like that. But and you see like it goes like a wave. Yeah, I don't really like that. But oh well. I did some manual labor earlier. Look at that. And if I do this, wow, that looks even worse. Makes me look like I have a bowl haircut. I don't like having that. Like, this is why I feel like I look better with long hair. Short hair just doesn't work for me unless I blow it up. And even then, like, I don't use gel. Even then, it doesn't look good. But yeah, I was doing some manual labor earlier today. When left work early, came home early to mow the lawn, all that stuff. You know, it used to be that my dad does it all alone. He used to do it all by himself, but you know, since my dad's getting up there in age, he can't really do as much anymore. So I gotta help him, and relatively soon I'll be doing all of it myself. You know, mowing the lawn takes more than just, you know, simply just dragging a lawnmower across your lawn, right? There's more to that. There's like setting up the lawnmower, cleaning the lawnmower. Because you have to remember, when you cut the grass, all that cut grass has to go somewhere. And a lot of it gets stuck underneath the lawnmower, where the blades are. So you gotta clean that out first, otherwise it just builds up and then the blades can't spin anymore. So you gotta clean the lawnmower. Depending on what lawnmower you have, mine needs gas, so you gotta fill up the gas. And then you mow the lawn, and that's a pretty big and heavy piece of machinery. So sometimes when you're trying to get the corners at certain angles, it's kind of hard to move it. And then sometimes, like in my case, there's a lot of big weeds that the lawnmower can't necessarily reach. So you gotta pull them out by hand. Then you gotta wear gloves. You gotta get that, like, gardening bag or whatever that you get from, like, I don't know, Home Depot. Specifically meant for putting all this, like, vegetation in. I did save the game, right? So yeah, anyways, long story short, I mowed the lawn again today. And since my backyard grows a lot faster than my front yard, I didn't do my front yard last time, so this time I did. Sorry, I'm just replying to a text over here. So yeah, this time I did do my front yard as well, which meant more work for me. And then there was also cleanup too. Like I said, all that cut grass has to go somewhere, so I gotta sweep up my backyard, put it into those not industrial, vegetation specific bags. So it is a lot of work, and especially under the summer heat as well. So yeah, I took a shower earlier before dinner, washed my hair, and you can clearly tell I didn't blow dry it. I know I'm ugly, okay? Relax. So I want to talk about one thing real quick. I found this out literally just before starting this because I was watching a YouTube short on it. So remember a little while ago, I don't remember how long ago I last said this. Remember a little while ago when I talked about the Insomniac Spider-Man games? And I mentioned that the new face for Peter Parker doesn't look like a Peter to me. The older face, I forget the voice, not the voice. I forget the actor's name. I probably should look that up. What the hell is the guy's name? I'm only seeing his new face actor. Okay, I see here that the old face model for the Insomniac Spider-Man is John Butniak? I'm sorry I butchered that. Now, he doesn't really look like a Peter to me, but, you know, I got used to it. I got used to it, and then I did see him as Peter. Now, the new face for Spider-Man Remastered, and then Miles Morales, and then Spider-Man 2, the new face, I said this from the very beginning. I said that does not look like Peter. It does not look like a Peter to me. That new face looks more like a Ben to me. Surprisingly enough. And I thought, man, am I just crazy? You know, because Peter Parker, Uncle Ben, like... Maybe I'm crazy for thinking that Peter's new face looks more like a Ben than a Peter. I literally found out just before doing this that I was right. The new face actor's name is Ben. The new face for Peter, the new actor is named Ben Jordan. I can't believe I got that right. I never looked it up before. Why would I? I didn't think that I was actually correct. How could I have possibly known? I didn't think that the new face actor, the name actually was Ben. I always thought his face looked like a Ben. I guess I know why now. Because it literally is the face of a Ben. I swear to God, I did not know that before this. Because I had no reason to look it up before, because I didn't think I would actually get it right. I didn't think that, you know, I thought he looked like a Ben. Let me look it up real quick. Let me confirm to myself, is he actually a Ben or not? I kid you not. I kid you not. I did not know this before, literally just before starting this. I thought the new Peter Parker's face looked more like a Ben than a Peter. And I can't believe I'm right. The new, the face model is Ben Jordan. So, I was right. I'm not right about a lot of things in life, but I can't believe I was right about this. Of all things that I'm right about. I can't be right about my answers on my exam, but this, someone's face looking like a Ben more than a Peter, I can't believe I was right about that. Alright, gloating aside, me gloating that I was correct aside, I don't get to do this often, okay? I don't get to often gloat that I was correct about something. Just leave me alone. Let me have this W for a change. So today we are still doing the depths. And I am still hunting for Celebi. And I will hunt Celebi until I get it. Today is day 20 of me shiny hunting for Celebi. We're basically at 3 weeks. I've been hunting this thing for 3 weeks. My A and B button has so much wear and tear on it by now. Man, I got super lucky doing this before when I first hunted Celebi, getting it in only like 8 days. Super lucky. And I got super lucky with that Suicune, only getting it in about 5 to 6 days. But I will do this until I get it. Yep, just move this aside real quick. So, I thought about it. If there is a way for me to pay for the compendium in this game, I'll do it. Because, just like when I played Breath of the Wild, the compendium would have taken too damn long. And if I had the rupees for it, which I did, then I may as well. So if that is an option in this game, me buying all the photos for the compendium, I'll do it. I mean, hey, I'm making money now, aren't I? So I got one major thing to talk about today, but let's finish up our amiibos first. So, another quick little story. I don't remember how long ago I said this also. Remember a little while ago I mentioned I saw this animal in my backyard? It kind of looked like a weasel to me. It didn't exactly look like a ferret. Well, it kind of did, but, you know, what are the chances of a ferret being in my backyard? A weasel in my backyard was more likely. So I said a little while ago that I saw this animal in my backyard that kind of seemed like it was a weasel. Well, last night, when I was playing this actually, so as I was playing this last time, know that my dad was in the backyard, and he saw another weasel. He said he saw a very small one. He actually doesn't even know what he saw. He's told the family that he saw this like really small animal that like stood up on two legs, walked really fast on those two legs. He said he saw it white. He like a white fur one. So I looked it up. Yeah, there definitely are white fur weasels that exist. And I don't mean albinos. So it seems like my dad saw a weasel in my backyard too. My whole family was calling my dad crazy, like, you're sure you saw an animal like that? He said he saw it was like this small. He could have seen a baby one. Yeah, my whole family was calling my dad crazy for thinking he saw like a like a leprechaun-sized animal that was white and furry that walked really fast on two legs. My whole family was, well, my mom and sister, they were calling my dad crazy, not me, because I already saw it. I didn't see a white one. I saw one that was like tan color. But whatever. Yeah, I think my dad saw a baby ferret. Ferret? The Pokemon ferret saw a baby weasel. A baby ferret. It's like, what a surprise. It's surprising to me, like, my family, they've never heard of a weasel before, like, of all things. You know, I had no idea what my sister was getting at earlier today. We were at work. This was before my dad told me. My mom and sister were at work. They were just like, son, well, my mom said that, not my sister. They were just like, ask your father, like, what he saw last night and, you know, get ready to laugh at his ridiculous story. This was me getting ready to leave early for work, from work. So, the car ride home, my dad mentioned, son, last night while you were gaming, I was letting the dogs out in the backyard, and I saw this really small, white-colored animal that stood up on two legs and was really fast. And I thought to myself, okay, that's probably another weasel. So when my mom and sister were completely roasting my dad behind his back about seeing such a mythical creature, my sister was, you know, joking around. She was like, could it have been the ghost of Billy that he saw? And that got me really, really concerned, because it put the idea in my mind that maybe that is what my dad saw before he told me. Maybe he's about to tell me, son, while I was letting our dogs outside last night, I saw a third dog. And it was Billy. At that point, I don't know how I would have reacted. So I was like kind of mentally preparing myself for when my dad told me he saw a weasel. I was preparing myself for him to tell me he saw the ghost of Billy. Well, that's clearly not what played out. Remember, we're doing this for money. By the way, as I'm doing this right now, I have Pokemon Crystal open to Shiny Hunt Celebi, and I got Pokemon Go open. You can see here that, well, yeah, you can see I'm working on my Gimme Ghoul. I'm trying to get the hearts up to get it into Best Buddy, because I forgot to do this today. And also, I have a couple of other Pokemon I'm trying to get to Best Buddy, just because. So that's what I'm doing right now. 3 different games. Okay, put this away. And I think we got one more amiibo to get the armor from. See here, I'm also trying to Best Buddy my... Oh, look at that! You can see my face! Because yeah, when you do this, it uses the camera. But yeah, I'm also trying to Best Buddy my shiny female Gardevoir. I was going to do this before I left work today, but I left work early, which I did not expect, so I didn't have time to do this. I did, but I chose not to. I chose to wait, build up a good stash of berries, and then do this. Because it takes 3 berries to get 1 heart from your buddy. So you need a large stash of berries. At least that's how I do it. I'm not going to waste a golden raz, because you use 1 golden raspberry and that's 1 heart, versus 3 berries to get 1 heart. I've done it before. When I had way too many golden raspberries, I used it before. I know it's a big waste, but you know, I needed the item space and I had too many. I had like 250 golden raspberries at one point. And I'm just like, no, this is too much. I'm never going to use all of these. Bruh, my game is about to crash. It did crash! My Pokemon Go game. See, look, it crashed. It's not even like... Okay, it's the forbidden black screen, so it's not even loading. Oh, now it's loading. See? See? Now it's loading in. I'm a very busy person, okay? Okay? You know what's funny? Yesterday, when I got to work early, it was just me and my mom first. Don't forget, we work as a family. So my sister was running late as usual. So it was just me and my mom in the store waiting for her. No, actually, she had something to do yesterday morning. That's why she was late. So it was just me and my mom in the store. And she talked to me. She was like, son, you playing all these video games isn't going to earn you money. And I'm just like, Mom, I would like to take a little bit of a break. I just graduated school. I just finished that exam, which we don't even know if I passed yet or not. And if I don't pass, that means I gotta retake it. I would like to take a little bit of a break right now. And she's like, yes, I understand, and all the other stuff that you would expect, like, you know, asking me, why don't you, like, study computers or something? Which we all know I'm too stupid for. I don't know the first thing about computers. How do you expect me to study it? So I told my mom, I will go back to school at some point to do the next program. Another program. But first, I would like a little bit of a break. Just a little bit, you know. Enough time for me to do everything that I want to do. I haven't even come close to finishing all the shiny hunts that I want to do because this stupid roadblock that is Celebi just won't shine. So then my mom asked me the question again. This time a little bit more seriously, like kinda expecting like a concrete answer from me. Remember when I was wasting time riding on top of the Light Dragon, grinding parts, and I mentioned that my mom offered to take me on a trip to Hong Kong for like 2 weeks, and 3 days would be in Japan. She asked me that again. She's like, am I taking you, or am I going to take your sister, and instead of going to Japan, I would take her to China? And I just started laughing. You know how in certain moments, you get asked you get put in a position, and your only response is laughter? That was me. Like, am I going to take your sister, or am I going to take you? And I just like, really? You're gonna take me to Hong Kong for 2 weeks? Are you serious? I don't need to go over again how I hate going to Hong Kong. Now, if my mom was taking me to China, that's a deal breaker right there. I would not even hesitate to say no to that deal. You take me to Hong Kong for 2 weeks plus 3 days in China? Yeah. You can just like, you can return that plane ticket. Or give it to me. The paper shredder is always hungry. Once again, I don't want to. I really don't want to. The 3 days in Japan is enticing, I gotta admit, but just 3 days in exchange for 2 weeks in the place that I absolutely hate going to. It's like, I receive. It's like the I receive, you receive meme. But instead of you, it's my mom. Wait. Yeah. I receive 3 days in Japan. My mom receives 2 weeks in Hong Kong. No. I refuse. Just like how I refuse the Master Sword constantly in this game to other stuff, I refuse. You know, in my teenage years, I don't remember how old I was or when this was. I think it was in 2012. Because I think in 2012, there was a big storm in Hong Kong when I went. Jesus Christ, my throat. I think that was the year the last time my entire family, we all went back together. Because normally whenever my family goes back to Hong Kong, it's just my mom. And most likely my sister goes with her. And then very rarely will I ever go. And it's even more rare that my dad goes. So the last time we all went back was, I believe, in 2012, maybe 2011. I don't remember. I think it was 2012. And because I hated going there, even back then, I asked my dad, like, can you leave me with you know, uncle or grandpa on this side, and all you guys go? I really don't want to go back. So I really did not want to go, and I still don't want to go. How's it already almost been half an hour? I probably would. I would call it quits. Like, okay, we got so many armors to sell. We can, you know, not get this last one. But it's the last one. May as well. There we go. See? Last one. Okay, so those are just full of arrows, which I am full on as well. So now we can just use the rest of our amiibos, well, not carelessly, but like carefreely, I think. Wait a second. Zora Longsword, huh? Yeah. I think we will reset one more amiibo, and once again, that's my Ganondorf amiibo, to get the Dusk Sword. Nice. More amber, that's good. Opal, that's nice as well. Bokoblin amiibo, the chest never has anything, so don't even bother looking in it. Okay, get the ones from this paper. Listen, the shit we get from the amiibos are good, okay? So this is not a big waste of time. You know what? I'm gonna take that. Because that alone is already better than this. And can't we fuse it to something else? Like, didn't we get something that we could fuse this to? Never mind. You know what? That one's rusty. Never mind. Exploring the depth, we're probably going to find something that we can fuse that to, so never mind. It was this one I just used, right? Nope! I didn't use that one yet. I don't think I want that, right? No. I wonder how the multiplier for the Ganondorf bow works. It's 56 damage right now. Is it like double how many hearts we have? We have 20... How many do we have? 28? Is 20... No, 28 times 2 is not 56. Ooh, an ancient blade. Nice. Okay, put this away. That's not... Ugh. I don't think I used this one, the Wolf-Link amiibo, because I don't remember a big pile of meat. Okay. And now, we're going to reset one last time for the Dust Sword. Brock, get out of my way. It's not scanning. It's not scanning. Damn. That sapphire would be nice to keep. Why is it not scanning? Ooh! Nice and quick. I like that. Okay, I already have the Master Sword equipped. Great. The hell? My controller disconnected for a second. Awesome. Now we're ready to kick some ass down at the depths. But first, this is why we grind using those amiibos.
Hi.
Prepared to see that cash flow.
Ah.
When am I gonna learn my lesson and not spam B? I can't be the only one who does that, right? Spam B. So sell everything past this. 6, 12, no, 6. 5, 10, 15, minus 1, 14. 14 times 600. What actually is that? Hold on. Calculator. 14 times 600. 8,400. Prepare to see 8,400 rupees enter my pockets.
Oh. Ah.
Yo, if I got one more amiibo, then I could get 15. 15 times 600, that's 9,000. If I could get 9,000 rupees a day by doing this, ooh. What is that, like maybe just over 3 months to completely max out rupees? I probably did that mental math wrong. No, more like 4 months. Anyways, to the depths. Right, we know of some light roots over here. There is literally one right here. Let's go! I hope I can make it there because I see a big wall separating it. Besides, if we're not getting the rupees for the upgrading armors, we're at least going to get it for the compendium. Okay, do I have equipped everything I want? Yeah, let's do this. So the pin is... what the hell? Oh, and of course there's a monster camp right there. Is there a dead soldier somewhere I could quickly fuse my weapon to? No. No, there is not. So today, I want to talk about Marvel real quick, because today was the season finale, was the last episode for Secret Invasion. want to talk a little bit about that. Let's see, this episode, I kind of didn't expect this episode to play out the way it did. I probably should have. With Secret Invasion being a real slow burn, being a more slow-paced, story-driven story, you know, it's not action-packed superhero CGI fights. So I really didn't expect, well, exactly that in the final episode. I probably should have. So, in this episode, Gravik turned himself into a Super Skrull by getting the powers of all the heroes. And villains, too. He even got the DNA of Thanos. And so did Gaia. So there was a big CGI fight between Gravik and Gaia. Which I really didn't expect, a big CGI fight in Secret Invasion. Or at least this version of Secret Invasion. But I probably should have, since they were going the direction of Super Skrulls. I also saw earlier on Twitter, or X, that Secret Invasion is actually Marvel's lowest rated Disney Plus series on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a shame to see that, but at the same time, I'm kind of not surprised, given, you know, what I said earlier. It is more of a slow burn story. It's not constant action-packed CGI fight scenes, throwing punches, explosions everywhere. So, and I've also said this before, I said this in the past, that people's attention spans are just constantly going down, and TikTok's just making that worse. So, seeing those numbers, this being so low rated, yeah, it kind of doesn't surprise me. The fact that people saying the story is boring, it's, well, yeah, boring is the best word to describe how people were describing it. People just saying that the show is boring. Which, to some degree, I agree with. To some degree. I like, from time to time, I like a slow burn story. As long as it's good. If it's a good story that is very slow, because that's just how it is, then I like it that way. But if the story sucks, and it's a very slow burn, it's a very boring, terrible story, then of course I won't like it. Where was I going with this? I lost my train of thought. So anyways, we finally got rid of the Skrull Rhodey, or Scrody as people were calling him, and we've learned that the real Rhodey, Gaia said that he was gone for a very long time, and Rhodey was in a hospital gown. Now, when was the last time we saw Rhodey in a hospital gown? Captain America Civil War, when he was in that, what is that, an MRI machine? So it kind of seems like the real Rhodey, the real James Rhodes, was gone ever since the end of Civil War. Civil War took place in 2016. Current MCU timeline, as of the end of Secret Invasion, is what, 2025? 2026? So, like, 9 to 10 years, Rhodes has been gone. Is this Rusty? No. That is actually very good. Ooh, and an attack up plus 10! Say less, not that. So, if that's really what you're telling me, ever since the end of Captain America Civil War, that Rhodey has not been himself. Rhodey has been a Skrull all this time after Civil War. I don't know if I like that, but then again, what are you gonna do, right? I can't do anything about it. They want to retcon that, then they can do whatever they want. Now, it makes me question, too, like... I gotta give that scroll props for those acting skills. Because remember, at the end of Endgame, Rhodey was tearing up that Tony died. It's like, wow, that scroll really was really dedicated to his role, his performance. Okay, I have no idea how to get to here because it seems like there's a big wall in my way. So it seems like I need to get there from here. From there, at least. It does not look like there's walls there. So I think I need to get there from at least here. It seems like Gaia is now one of the strongest characters in the MCU because she has the DNA of some of the strongest characters in the MCU. She has the DNAs of, say, Thanos, Captain Marvel, Ebony Maw. They're probably Scarlet Witch powers, even though we didn't see it. So she's one of the most powerful characters in the entire MCU. She also has powers of Hulk, Abomination, those guys as well. She has the powers of all the Guardians of the Galaxies, which means Peter Quill, Ego as well. I don't know how that works, but okay. So, what did you guys think of Secret Invasion? It was definitely a slower story. Instead of following a superhero, it followed Nick Fury, like you guys already know this. More of a spy espionage type of show than an action adventure kind of drama, I guess. It's just crazy to think that every appearance we've seen Rhodes after Civil War, so Infinity War, Endgame, Falcon and Winter Soldier, he's been a Skrull. Like, I gotta hand it to that Skrull. His acting chops are superb. That Skrull was probably having the time of his life. Like, oh my god, I'm actually inside the War Machine armor. I wonder if Skrulls, like, since Gaia and Gravik got all the Avengers DNA, and they have all the powers of them, do they have, what about, like, Tony's DNA? Can their, you know, flesh and blood, their shape-shifting powers turn into metal suits? Metal blasters, like the arm cannon that Iron Man has? Can they do that? I mean, they're shapeshifters, I don't see why not. The repulsion blasters, that's it. So, the end of Secret Wars seems like it was kind of setting up for the Marvels. Which, I'll be honest, I don't really have that much of an interest for that film. I'm probably not going to watch it in theaters. I'll just wait for it to release on Disney+. And I gotta be honest with you guys, I still haven't seen, at least as of this moment, I still have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I tell you, that exam ruined so much for me. That exam the film came out like a month before my exam, but I still had to sacrifice that to study. So, I I think Guardians 3 is coming out on Disney Plus relatively soon from right now. So I'll watch it soon. I still haven't seen Transformers yet. I should be watching that tomorrow because I think it came out on digital a little while ago. And tomorrow's my day off, so I'll watch it tomorrow. Okay, so these are weak enemies because we're at the very beginning. Anyway, so something I want to talk about besides simply just Secret Invasion is I want to talk about the MCU time. What the hell? I want to talk about the MCU timeline because it has been such a mess lately. Phase 4 was awful with keeping up with the timeline, keeping up to date, like keeping track of how the timeline works. It was awful at that. Projects just felt so disconnected. It didn't even feel like they were in the same world. Timeline-wise, they like messed it up so badly. They said one thing, they said one show takes place before the other, and then something in the show itself retcons that statement. So we clearly cannot rely on Marvel themselves to give us a concrete timeline. Because the one on Disney Plus is incorrect. So leave it to us nerds, I mean fans, to do it ourselves. And I have, for many years, I've kept up with the Marvel timeline. Like, I literally have a document, like a Word document, of my own, listing out everything in the MCU. Like, I swear to God, I really do. But recent years, I just have not really cared because the projects haven't been that great. They haven't really been great themselves with keeping up the timeline. Like, being clear on how the timeline works. So, I kind of lost interest, but every now and then I just try to polish up my own MCU timeline. So I want to talk about that today. I want to run through like my version of the MCU timeline. You guys can let me know how right or wrong I am. Like, let me know what you guys think of my timeline. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to finish up something in my Pokemon Go game, and then I'll pull up my MCU Word document. So I have in my Word document all the shows as well. You know, shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Daredevil, Jessica Jones, all the other ones too, like Cloak and Dagger, The Runaways, even Hellstrom, which they kind of retcon to not being canon, but it's like, well, it's an official it's an official Marvel product, so I may as well count it. The way I see it, until I see a recasted version in the MCU proper, it is still in the main MCU. Oh, by the way, one little quick thing about Secret Invasion is that Tony Curran was in one of the episodes for like very brief. Now, it's interesting to think, Tony Curran, or Curran, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, Tony Curran, he already played Marvel characters, MCU characters. He played Bor, Thor's grandfather, which I didn't even notice. I didn't know that was him until I saw this. So he played Bor, and then he also played that one dude in Daredevil, which, you know, to me, Daredevil is canon, so that means there's someone out there on Earth who looked exactly like Bor. And then he played this character in Secret Invasion. Now, yes, this was a Skrull, but that Skrull was mimicking someone. So that means it's been well established in the past that characters in universes, like multiple characters, can look exactly the same because the same actor plays them. Couple of examples. Remember how Gemma Chan was in the first Captain Marvel film? She played Minerva, and then she went on to play Cersei. Sure, one of them was blue, but they still had the same face. The actress who played, I think her name was Shelby, in Falcon and Winter Soldier, she played a S.H.I.E.L.D. doctor in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I consider canon. Oh, here's a real big one. Mahershala Ali, he's going to play Blade, and he was Cottonmouth in Luke Cage. So, the same actor playing multiple characters isn't anything new, because the MCU proper has confirmed that multiple characters can look the exact same. So, you know, it used to be a big deal to me that characters like Cottonmouth and Blade look the exact same. Like, if Luke Cage ever met Blade, he's just like, you look a lot like Cottonmouth. Who? Oh, just some crime boss I used to know. But nowadays, I don't really care, because they've established themselves that multiple characters look the same. Remember that one general in The Incredible Hulk? Yeah, he played Kovos in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I always forget that general's name. No matter how many times I look it up, I always forget. So anyways, yeah, let me just finish this up in my Pokemon Go, and then I'll pull up my MCU timeline. So yeah, in my MCU timeline, I have all the shows. I also have, you know, the Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films. I'm not including the X-Men just yet, because right now, this is before Deadpool 3 comes out. And we don't know how the X-Men are going to be implemented into the MCU. Which, the X-Men, the Fox X-Men timeline, I consider the shows Legion and The Gifted canon. Even though they never officially crossovered, it's still pretty much set in the X-Men universe. So I consider them canon. Even though we never had a proper crossover, I'm going in the wrong direction. You can see it. No, that's not the light route. Light route's this direction. So, if the Fox X-Men universe becomes canon to the MCU, remember this is before Deadpool 3, then I would add all the X-Men films and those two shows. Man, I'm such a loser. Oh, there's a Hinox here. So, I'm pretty sure all of us, we understand how how most of the MCU timeline works, at least up to Endgame. But everything after Endgame is a little bit confusing, and that's what I want to run through with you guys today. So, yeah, let me just take down this Hinox first. Oh, this is a one-handed weapon. I thought I was holding a two-handed. And wow, we have not defeated this Hinox yet. This does not even look like a red Hinox. Yeah, focus on them, not on me. Nope. That's our first Hinox horn. You're telling me up to now I haven't faced off one regular Hinox yet? Alright. Okay, so I have my MCU timeline pulled up. For the sake of simplicity, I'm only going to stick with the MCU projects. So none of the TV shows, none of the Spider-Man adjacent films, like none of those, just the main MCU stuff for now. Sure, it does only 7, and also durability up, but I already used this sword a couple times, so... Okay, so first film in the MCU timeline is Captain America: The First Avenger, taking place during World War II. And then we fast forward all the way to 1985 with the Captain Marvel film. This one's a quick shot. You know what? I don't think I want this. Even though I use this Lino Bow a bit. No. I use this Lino Bow a bit. It is triple shot. Ooh, what is over there? I see lots of pose. So, Captain America, the first Avenger, and then Captain Marvel in 1985, and then we take a huge time jump to Iron Man, the first Iron Man, in the year 2008. Also in the year 2008. No, that's not right. The Incredible Hulk may have came out in the year 2008, but it takes place in 2010 because of Fury's Big Week. So Fury's Big Week consists of Iron Man 2, The Incredible Hulk, and the first Thor movie. We good so far? So far we got Captain America, the first Avenger, Captain Marvel, Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk, and Thor. So that's we good on that so far? And then after Thor is the first Avengers, you know, the Avengers. And then after Avengers is Iron Man 3. Man, I don't want to waste my bow on this guy. Okay, let's, Yunobo, get over here. Come on, hurry up, hit him. What? Hit the one behind you! Okay, after Iron Man 3... Iron Man 3 is Thor the Dark World. I know some people argue that Thor the Dark World takes place before Iron Man 3. At this point, I don't really care. Where's that last one? There you are. Finally! Because I think on Disney Plus they put Thor the Dark World before Iron Man 3. It's like, okay, you already messed up there, but I could see it, kinda. So then after Thor the Dark World is Captain America Winter Soldier. Wait, I'm not even... Yeah, Avengers is in... Wait a second. Wait, let's backtrack a little bit. So, the first Iron Man was in 2008. In 2010, Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk, and Thor. In 2011 is when Captain America is thawed from the ice. 2012 is the Avengers. 2013 is Iron Man 3 and Thor the Dark World. Winter Soldier came out in 2014? I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So then in 2014 is Captain America Winter Soldier. And then, after that, also in 2014, deep in space, is Guardians of the Galaxy. And then 2 months after the first Guardians film is Guardians Volume 2. So we good so far? Like, the MCU before Endgame is very simple to understand. Mostly very simple to understand. Most of it is by release date, with a couple of exceptions. That really, I think, started with Guardians Volume 2. So after Guardians Volume 2, oh shit. Okay. I did say we would be going in main MCU stuff. So, what I believe is, in between Guardians 1 and 2, is all of the I Am Groot shorts. All of them. Not the way Disney Plus splits it, like, I think they split it like the first I Am Groot is before Guardians 2 and then all the other ones are after. No. I say all of them are between. So in my timeline, Guardians Volume 1, and then all of the I Am Groot, and then it's Guardian Volume 2. Okay? We good? So after Guardians of the Galaxy in 2015 is Age of Ultron, Avengers Age of Ultron. And then after Age of Ultron, also in 2015 is Ant-Man. And then Doctor Strange is an interesting case. What I believe is, okay, so Doctor Strange takes place in 2016. Beginning of Doctor Strange takes place beginning of the year, around. Because I think his watch at the beginning of the film said February. So to me, what I believe is the beginning of Doctor Strange takes place in February, around February 2016. And then he's in the hospital recovering from his car accident for many, many months. And during those months, Captain America Civil War happens, also in 2016. And then after Civil War is Black Widow. I believe Black Widow takes place before the frickin' ending of Civil War. The ending where Captain America breaks everyone out of the raft. Because at the very end of Black Widow, she said she's going to help a friend break all her other friends out of prison. She said something like that. So say like before the end of Captain America's Civil War, like a week passes off screen, and during that week, Black Widow deals with Dreykov, deals with the Black Widow program. So that's what I believe. I believe Black Widow takes place between Civil War's main story and its ending scene. So after Black Widow is Black Panther, because Black Panther is what, a week after Civil War. And then Spider-Man Homecoming is 2 months afterwards, if I remember correctly. All of this is in 2016. And then finally, after all of that stuff happened, in what I believe is around November of 2016, is the rest of the Doctor Strange film. He recovers, he finds his way to Kamar-Taj, becomes Sorcerer, or a Sorcerer, not quite Sorcerer Supreme yet. And then that's what happens. He fights with Caecilius, Dormammu, all that good shit. So, you following so far yet? So, quick recap. In 2016, around February, Doctor Strange gets in a car accident. And then, while he's recovering, what happens is Captain America Civil War, Black Widow, Black Panther, Spider-Man Homecoming, and then the rest of Doctor Strange. We good? Cool. So, after Doctor Strange, we have a relatively big time jump because in 2017, Thor Ragnarok is a bit of a confusing one to me, because in the film, Thor said that Ultron happened 2 years ago. Ultron happened in 2015. 2 years later, that would mean that Thor Ragnarok takes place in 2017. But that kinda is an issue because Infinity War takes place in 2018. And the end of Thor Ragnarok directly connects to Infinity War. Now that can be explained by Thor being on Sakaar for a while, and time moves differently on Sakaar. Or the film genuinely took place in a couple of months. Took place over the span of a couple of months. From 2017 all the way into 2018. Pick your poison. So, regardless. Somehow, Thor Ragnarok takes place in 2017, and then by the end of the film, it's 2018, and Infinity War starts. Infinity War is in 2018. But, before that, it was stated that in What If, Ant-Man and the Wasp is 2 weeks before Infinity War. So we have Thor Ragnarok, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Infinity War. We good so far? So after Infinity War, there is a... Hold on. After Infinity War, there is a 5-year time jump. So we have now arrived in 2023, because Infinity War took place in 2018, 5 years later, 2023, which is the year right now. So 2023 is when Avengers Endgame takes place. So, surprisingly enough... Ooh, I need to wipe the ice, hold on. Surprisingly enough, the timeline was relatively easy to understand up to this point. This is where the timeline gets really messy, gets really unprofessionally kept, if I must admit. Okay, so let me finish wiping this ice real quick. Can you guys tell I'm a super nerd? It's no wonder I'm single. There's no surprise why I'm single. I got the same thing for DC as well. Arrowverse, DCEU, Trust, and Walking Dead. So anyways, maybe I'll go over those someday. So, after Avengers Endgame in 2023, Loki takes place immediately. That takes place outside of time, so it's like, doesn't really matter too much. So, Loki takes place after, Loki Season 1 that is. Right now, this is before Loki Season 2 comes out, so I'm not sure about that yet. So, after Avengers Endgame is Loki Season 1, and then immediately after that season, the fallout of that season is What If? Because at the end of Season 1, Sylvie killed the One Who Remains, and because of that, the multiverse breaks. All the alternate timelines are set loose, and because of that, the Watcher narrates all the events that happen in What If. Oh, right, I'm wearing my Sheikah armor. That's why this guy hasn't noticed me yet. So it's Avengers Endgame, Loki, Season 1, What If. Yo. Oh, where'd you come from? Hold on, hold on, hold on. Shit! Alright, this is Silver Lizalfos. Okay, then after What If, because Loki and What If are taking place outside of time, so those you know, those events take place immediately after Endgame because those take place because of Endgame. Loki escaping, becoming a variant, and then setting loose the multiverse. Those things take place because of Endgame, so those come first. So then, after all that, is WandaVision. WandaVision takes place 3 weeks after Avengers Endgame. So far, it's Endgame, Loki Season 1, What If, WandaVision. I put a lot of thought into the post-Endgame timeline, because it really is not well organized. At least by Marvel themselves. Okay, so after WandaVision is Falcon and Winter Soldier. That takes place 6 months after Endgame, the end of Endgame, where you know, U.S. agent, everyone hated him. You know, fun fact, I rewatched Falcon and Winter Soldier. I didn't hate him as much the second time, but you know, it was a fun type of hate. So after Falcon and Winter Soldier is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I don't remember when they said that takes place, but that should take place in 2024. Yeah, see? It's never specifically mentioned how long it takes place after Endgame. So this is my timeline. So Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is next. After that is Eternals. Ooh, look at all those fireflies. Appleton? Applin? What the hell? Were they eating that? Well, I suppose that would be their food source. How far am I from it? So then after Eternals, sometime in 2024, 8 months later after Avengers Endgame is Spider-Man Far From Home, and then immediately after that is Spider-Man No Way Home. We see in Spider-Man No Way Home that it's around Christmas time, or getting close to it. So because of that, end of the film, it's winter, it's Christmas. Spider-Man is swinging across, I think it's Rockefeller Center. I could get that name wrong, okay? Not really brushed up on my New York locations. That skating rink, okay? He's swinging over that skating rink. And then we see that same skating rink in Hawkeye. So Hawkeye takes place around Christmas of 2024. Now, this is where Disney is flat out wrong, because on Disney Plus they put Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness before Hawkeye. That is wrong. Hawkeye takes place before that. So after Hawkeye is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, taking place sometime around early 2025. After that is Moon Knight Season 1. After Moon Knight is Miss Marvel. After Miss Marvel, I have Thor Love and Thunder. And then after Thor Love and Thunder, I have She-Hulk. Now, let me break some of this stuff down real quick. Okay. I remember now. In She-Hulk, it mentions... No, not mentions. Yes, it does. That's something else. In She-Hulk, I don't remember which episode. I think it was episode 1. Episode 1, there was a bunch of drawings and pictures or whatever, one of them depicting the Miss Marvel logo. So that means Miss Marvel takes place before She-Hulk. And also the She-Hulk finale, where, you know, all those incels are saying, why is there a female Thor now? Why do we need that? That confirms Thor Love and Thunder takes place before She-Hulk. So that's my timeline. And then after She-Hulk, Werewolf by Night. After that, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. We now move into around 2026, I think. Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I have not seen Guardians Volume 3 yet, like I said. So I assume that takes place after Quantumania. And then after that, Secret Invasion. And I'm guessing immediately after Secret Invasion is The Marvels. And that's where we are at for the current MCU timeline. I am a giga loser. I know that. Okay, that was a lot of rambling that I just went on. So, here, let me just mention it nice and clean for everyone who wants to know. Okay, so, you know what, if you want to write this down, go ahead. Captain America, the First Avenger, Captain Marvel, Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk, Thor, Captain America, the First Avenger, The Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, I Am Groot, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Avengers: Age of Ultron, Ant-Man. I won't split up Doctor Strange, so not yet Doctor Strange. Captain America: Civil War, Black Widow, Black Panther, Spider-Man: Homecoming, Doctor Strange, because most of the film takes place after it. Doctor Strange, and then it is Thor: Ragnarok, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Avengers: Infinity War. I also wrote down here Ant-Man and the Wasp post-credit scene after that. After Infinity War is Avengers: Endgame, Loki Season 1, What If Season 1. Don't know about Season 2 yet because that's not out yet. So, Avengers: Endgame, Loki Season 1, What If Season 1, WandaVision, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Eternals, Spider-Man: Far From Home, Spider-Man: No Way Home, Hawkeye, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, Thor: Love and Thunder, She-Hulk, Werewolf by Night, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and like I said, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, I assume, because I haven't seen it yet. Secret Invasion, probably the Marvels after that. Alright, so that's my MCU timeline. Let me know, what do you guys think? Am I correct? I'm probably wrong about some stuff, let me know. Oh, trust, if you want me to go this deep into DC and The Walking Dead, by all means, my pleasure. And keep in mind, too, this is just the main MCU stuff. I haven't even touched on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Netflix shows, like, I haven't even touched all of that. And yes, I did think about all of that as I put it into my timeline. Trust! My timeline is a huge mess. So this is my issue with Marvel. Like, all the stuff after Endgame, well, most of it, is very unclear when it takes place. Oh yeah, also in She-Hulk, there was an article about why is there a giant man sticking out of the ocean, so that references the Eternals, which means Eternals is before She-Hulk. She-Hulk sucked, by the way. It was absolute woke trash. Daredevil was the one saving grace. Oh hey, you're just a lone straggler. Anyways, let me know. What do you guys think? I'll be honest. Like I said earlier, The Marvels, I don't really have any, like, interest in that film. I'll still watch it just for the sake of completion of... Oh my god! For the sake of completion of watching everything in the MCU. But I don't want to go to the theater to watch it. I don't want to bother. It doesn't interest me that much. So, I'll wait for the Disney Plus release date. Now, one project that really interests me, really excites me, is Loki Season 2, because I love the first season of Loki. And if they do it just as good... Wait, I gotta be honest. Anything the MCU is doing right now that does not set up the Kang storyline, the Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars, I really don't care that much. Anything that doesn't really set up the multiverse saga, I don't really care. I mean, I'll still watch it, but it doesn't interest me. I want to see Kang. I want to see that stuff. I want to see multiverse stuff. I don't really care about She-Hulk or, you know. And you know, the way I viewed the films before Infinity War, all of them had a purpose. Even if they were minor, all of them had some sort of purpose, whether it be for furthering the plot in the saga or introducing a character who would be integral to the Infinity War and Endgame storyline. Like, you want me to run through it? Let's run through it. Iron Man, well, oh my god, that's a lot of keys. Iron Man, first of all, that set up the MCU. Like, that, not set up, but that started the MCU. Incredible Hulk, that was Hulk's solo film. Iron Man 2 introduced us to War Machine. And also introduced us to, you know... Well, this happens throughout the MCU, but also introduced us to Iron Man just constantly upgrading his armors as he faces new threats and has to implement stuff into his armors to deal with that threat possibly in the future again. Kind of like in Iron Man 2 when he dealt with Whiplash and the electric attacks. Well, we saw that in the Avengers, where he upgraded his suit to deal with electric attacks when he was fighting Thor. So Iron Man 2 introduced War Machine. We met Rhodey in the first film, even though he was played by Terrence Howard. But still, the identity of War Machine was introduced in the second film. Let's see, Thor, well, introduced Thor, and Loki. And the Tesseract. No, not Tesseract. No, not Tesseract, not Tesseract. Captain America, you know, his own film, introduced the character. The Avengers, that was a real big point. It was all of the characters coming together for the first time. Iron Man 3, that dealt with, you know, the trauma or the aftermath of it. It also introduced Extremis, which is still being used in the MCU today, and also teased the Mandarin, which was paid off way later in Shang-Chi. I know people are gonna criticize the way I say Shang-Chi. You're gonna say no, it's Shang-Chi. I don't give a shit. Let's see. After Iron Man 3, Thor: The Dark World. That introduced the Ether, which was the Reality Stone. See, it's like the films either introduce a character or some sort of MacGuffin, some sort of item that's important, like the Infinity Stones. After Thor: The Dark World is Winter Soldier. You know, that one dealt with S.H.I.E.L.D's downfall. And also brought back Bucky. Didn't really deal with the Infinity Stones. But it also paved the way for, you know, the downfall of S.H.I.E.L.D. And that meant, like, you know, what remains of Hydra to rise and all that stuff. Don't even get me started on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. After that, Guardians, obvious. They introduced the Guardians, introduced the characters, and also introduced the Power Stone. Guardians Volume 2 introduced Mantis. After Guardians is Age of Ultron, where the Avengers, you know, they got a little too full of themselves. So the Avengers, you know, the Avengers destroyed Sokovia, which led to the Sokovia Accords, which I know was bullshittedly just ruined in She-Hulk. Don't we just love She-Hulk? But whatever. Age of Ultron led the way for the introduction of the Sokovia Accords, which caused Civil War, the Avengers to break up. No, I missed Ant-Man. Ant-Man introduced Ant-Man, who turned out to be a very big character. You know, Ant-Man, shrinking, Quantum Realm, Endgame. There you go. Like, you get what I'm saying, right? What the hell? Oh, that's all the stuff that was... Wait, isn't that the way we go to get to Ganondorf? The way depths? Oh yeah, look at all this mess. Hyrule Castle Chasm, yup. I already got that one too. Okay, now we have this area lit up. I don't see a chasm entrance here. There's no bridge here. Nothing here as well. So, how the hell do we get over there? Because, yeah, the light route's obviously right here, but there's walls surrounding this whole spot. Doctor Strange, do I even need to say it? He was a big character, and the Time Stone. Black Widow. Okay, that was after the Infinity Saga, so it's like that one doesn't really count. Didn't really contribute all that much, besides just giving an origin story to her blonde hair in Infinity War. Spider-Man and Black Panther. Those were their somewhat spin-off movies. More of a branch off than a spin-off. Black Panther, you know, introduced Wakanda, which was a big part in Infinity War. Spider-Man, also a big part in Infinity War. Like, all of the films at least introduced something to the overall story. Whether it be a character, the Infinity Stones, a location, like, all of them was necessary. Everything after Endgame does not feel like these projects were necessary. You know, the woke-ass She-Hulk show, like, how is that necessary to the Kang Dynasty? Unless you're gonna tell me that She-Hulk is gonna be the one to take down Kang and then make it some woke statement. I'm spitting so much. I swear to God, I can already picture it. She-Hulk takes down Kang, it's like, and that's why... And that's why women are stronger than men. I don't know. That's totally something She-Hulk would say. Damn it. How much of my shit flew away? All this Marvel chat, just because I finished watching Secret Invasion today. I know Marvel said that they, you know, hired someone specifically to, you know, go through everything in the MCU and do a proper timeline. So they're going to release an official timeline at some point. Because they literally hired someone whose job it is to watch everything, document everything, and make a proper timeline. Well, there you go. Us fans, or me in particular, we already did it for you, Marvel, and I didn't ask for a paycheck. I don't even need to mention too, like, for Eternals, you know, that was 7,000 years in the past. I don't need to mention that. 5,000 BC. Like, I don't need to mention that. You guys know. Majority of the film takes place in present day after whatever the hell I said. After Shang-Chi. It's like, you guys know. Like, the smaller details, the smaller timeline moments, like, you guys know. I'm talking about the main plot of the film, where the majority of the film takes place. Okay, my fire fruits did not go off. I saw one fall. Oh my god, don't hit my fire fruit. I gotta go smelt these Zonites soon. It sounds like I'm saying I'm smelling them, but in past tense, I smelt them. Even though past tense of smell is smelled, not smelt. Okay, I don't see Riju here, otherwise I would shock this thing to get that throwing spear that he has. By the way, you want to know my theory for Deadpool 3? At least initially, before Deadpool, right now, keep in mind, right now is before Deadpool 3 releases. Like, my theory on how he got into the MCU was thanks to Spider-Man No Way Home. So in that film, okay, little minor details in that film. Doctor Strange said, "You changed my spell 5 times," and then I think that's what he said. And then Peter said 6 times. So even Doctor Strange doesn't know how many people his spell brought, because he thought it was 5 times. But 6 villains were brought over because of Venom as well. But it's not only 6 individuals who were brought over, because 2 Spider-Men were brought over too. So clearly, Doctor Strange doesn't even know how his spell worked. So, Doctor Strange explained that the people who knew Peter Parker is Spider-Man were brought over. Makes no sense for Electro, but whatever. It also makes no sense that Vulture, Adrian Toomes, was sent to Morbius. So, yeah, Doctor Strange doesn't know how his spell worked. So, people who knew Peter Parker is Spider-Man were sent over, were brought over into the MCU. Deadpool breaks the 4th wall. He knows things like how he's frickin' being played by Ryan Reynolds himself. So Deadpool breaks the 4th wall. Deadpool would know Peter Parker is Spider-Man. So that was my theory at first. Deadpool was sent to the MCU because of Doctor Strange's spell. That was my initial theory. As for, you know, why he wouldn't be sent back at the end of the film, when Doctor Strange reversed the spell and sent everyone back, I don't know. Sheer willpower? Then again, that one drop of Venom wasn't sent back either. So it's like, you know. So that was my initial theory on why Deadpool, or how Deadpool got into the MCU, because Doctor Strange's spell. But clearly that's not going to be the case with Deadpool 3 whenever that releases. Because a strike is happening right now. The film's not even being filmed right now. Anyways, what's up, man? You missed me go over my entire MCU timeline. Well, I say entire, but not the Not the TV side. Just the MCU Marvel Studios side. Theory: people only get sent back if Doctor Strange knew about them. He didn't know about the small blob of Venom. He didn't know about Venom, period. What do you mean? He didn't know Venom was sent over. Or brought over to the MCU. He didn't even know 2 Spider-Men were. Well, you know what I mean. Doctor Strange said, you changed my spell 5 times, so he assumes 5 individuals were brought over to the MCU. Peter said 6, and he just cut him off there. So he didn't know his spell brought over anyone more than 5. More than 5 people. So, clearly, like, regardless, period, end of statement, factual statement, Doctor Strange did not know how far his spell reached. The extent of his spell. Because, why the fuck did Adrian Toomes get sent over to Morbius? We can thank Sony for that, but regardless, we got what we got, and we work with what we got. So, that was my initial theory. Deadpool was brought over because of Doctor Strange's spell. And why he wasn't sent back, I don't know. Just cuz. Yep. Why was Vulture sent over? Just cuz. Like, why wasn't some other characters like Topher Grace's version of Venom sent over? Just cuz. Why did it randomly pick Tom Hardy's version of Eddie Brock? Just cuz. Why weren't characters like Gwen Stacy sent over? Because she knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man? Well, there's actually a theory about that. When Peter was ruining Doctor Strange's spell, he removed best friend and girlfriend. So because those were out of the spell, maybe that's why it did not bring them from different Peter Parker. It did not bring different Peter Parker's best friend or girlfriends. So it did not bring Mary Jane, did not bring Harry Osborn. It's not explained in the film, and us fans have to theorize for them. And you know what? I take that answer. I accept that answer. Because it's the only answer we have. I am a Super Marvel nerd, as you guys can tell. Instead of thinking about, you know, what to study, I wasted my time thinking about the goddamn MCU timeline. And, you know, trying to piece together certain things. Yeah, I have no life. I have... It's no wonder I have no girlfriend at that point. In this case, either. But trust, if you want me to go even more nerd out, even geek out even harder, I could go over all the shows with you guys too. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Daredevil, all those shows. Runaways, Cloak and Dagger, Hellstrom. Yeah, I watched all of them. Inhumans. Yeah, I watched that garbage. Like, all the shows, the Spider-Man films with Tobey and Andrew, I could go over all of those. But I think the Spider-Man films are self-explanatory. There was such a huge gap in between Captain Marvel and Iron Man 1. From 1985 to 2008. Spider-Man, the first one, came out in 2001. And Spider-Man 3 was in 2007, so that easily fits into that gap. Now, the Amazing... I almost said the Incredible Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man, that's a little more... I don't want to say messy. But I would follow the release dates. The Amazing Spider-Man, the first one, came out in 2012 after the Avengers. So I would say, roughly after the Avengers did their first team up in this universe, in another universe, shortly after, this other Peter Parker was just becoming Spider-Man. And then TASM 2, that came out, I think, in 2015. What did I write? Because I have it here based on release dates. No, TASM 2. Wasn't that 2014? My bad. Not 2015, 2014. 2014 was also Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy. So I did release dates. So I would say TASM 2 takes place in between Winter Soldier and Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh yeah, Secret Invasion. You forgot? Bruh, the whole reason I'm talking about Marvel today is because I finished Secret Invasion today. There was a bomb flower there? I didn't even notice. Can you guys hear my sister? When did Rhodey get replaced? You saw it, right? So I'll just go into spoilers if you already saw it. Rhodey was wearing a hospital gown. The last time we saw Rhodey in a hospital gown was at the end, was it the end? Around mid Captain America Civil War, when he fell from the sky and he had to be in that MRI machine. So if you're telling me Rhodey has been gone for goddamn almost 9 to 10 years, because Civil War took place in 2016. Current MCU is around 2025 to 2026. So you're telling me he's been gone for almost a decade? Bro, that's so sad he doesn't know Tony is gone. I know. I mentioned this earlier. The fact that Skrull imitating Rhodey, bruh, his acting chops are superb. Because in Endgame, he cried when Tony died. He teared up at Tony's funeral, you know, crocodile tears. Like, his acting chops are immaculate. Wait, doesn't that ruin a ton of moments for him? Yes, it does. Don't you just love when retcons happen? And now, thanks to these retcons, I have a lot more to think about. Great, I don't have any of them here at the Great Plateau. Let's take a step back. Jesus Christ, that's all we've done. We've done just about half of the depths, which only about half. They should have made it post Endgame final battle. Like that's when they took Rhodey. My question is, I'm only thinking, Gravik felt betrayed by Nick Fury. So did he feel betrayed by Nick Fury a goddamn decade ago? And then he started to enact his plan? So he started replacing world leaders and higher ups in 2016, even before the blip, before Nick Fury, you know, died. Where next? I could just go for this one, I suppose. Well, the closest would be coming here, but then I have to make it through all of that. Maybe, you don't know how hurt he was during the fight? I assume you mean during Civil War. So, yeah, there's a ton of shrines here that I don't even know where they are. I suppose I could just explore this area of the depths and try to find a light route? Hell, I could just fly down here and scope out the area. You want me to go through my timeline again since you're here and someone's actually listening to me now? I don't think I need to go over the pre-Infinity War and Endgame timeline with you since that's pretty self-explanatory. All that shit after Endgame was really hard to piece together. It was simple at first, and then they just kept on adding more and more. While I'm up here, I should probably heal. You want me to... I'm gonna talk about this again, because my god was it disappointing. The What If Zombies episode, holy shit, that was one of the most disappointing pieces of trash I've ever seen. Do you not have logic on how to survive the zombie apocalypse? Where do I begin? Like, ooh, I hear that. I need that. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Yes! Like, you guys know, I'm a Walking Dead fan. I watch all the shows, basically. So, some of the stupid stuff the Avengers did during What If Zombies, and you're telling me they're gonna make a whole animated show based on that? More like... I'd like more What If, especially episodes like the Doctor Strange one. I would like more What Ifs too, but I would like them to be better written than the stupid Zombies episode. Is that a light route right there? It sure the hell is! And I see some big ass pose right there. Why is there lava here? I'm all the way down here. Why is there lava here? Man, forget the light route. Look at these pose! Meta lava falls. Interesting. Oh, there's a chest! I didn't even see the chest. Okay, so the Avengers in the What If Zombies episode, they flew down to the Golden Gate Bridge, right? The Golden Gate Bridge. What the hell was their plan? What was their plan? To take down all those zombies themselves, you stupid fools? This is what they should have done. If the Avengers were smart, this is what they should have done in a goddamn zombie apocalypse. So, Tony, first of all, should never have been on that bridge, you frickin' morons. Tony is one of the smartest people you have on the planet. What he should have done, he should have went to Wakanda, where it was safe. He and Shuri, one of the other smartest person on the planet, they should have worked together to find a cure. That's what they should have done. Tony, being one of the smartest people on the planet, should have never been on the front lines. Yes, his expertise is not science, what it is, like biology and chemistry. But he's that smart, he can figure it out, right? He's an engineer, but he could still figure out a cure for this, especially if he worked together with Shuri. And you're telling me, you stupid fools, Iron Man was on the front lines to take down all those zombies in the most idiotic way on the Golden Gate Bridge? You fucking morons. You lost one of your smartest people. What a stupid move by the Avengers. Have one of the smartest people you have, one of the best chances you have, just die immediately, you idiots. And I also hated how they ended the episode by you know, twisting our nuts and saying, no, 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 you're not gonna have this. Zombie Thanos with the Infinity Stones. Man, I would have loved to see that, but they said, no, 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 no. That would be, honestly, too much to animate, so we're, no. And isn't this a bit of a continuity error? In the final episode, oops. In the final episode of What If Season 1, when Doctor Strange, yeah, when they were all fighting Ultron, Doctor Strange, he opened a portal, let all the zombies dogpile on Ultron. We saw the Captain America zombie intact. Last I checked, he was cut in half with his own shield. Well, you saw the game tear up a bit just now. So there's another light route right here. And obviously, you can tell that there's going to be a light route on Eventide. This light route alone is not going to light up this whole area. Huh, there's one this close to the Spirit Temple. That's actually not that far. What is this? Yeah, the smithing construct. So where do I want to go now? You know, at first I was a little skeptical about the MCU introducing animation to their canon, because the way I saw it, the whole point of the MCU was you know, everything to be interconnected but in live action. So when What If was being announced, and when What If was airing, I'm just iffy, like, this doesn't feel right. Because everything in the MCU has been live action until now. But I understand it's an episodic thing. It's not easy to get all those movie actors back for just one single episode. And also, like, the costume design, that would have been way too expensive, would have been not worth it in the slightest if it were to be done in live action. So I understand why it had to be animated. Can you imagine the What If series all in live action? How expensive that would be? Ultron alone is all CGI. The Watcher alone is CGI. Like, that alone is already, like, beyond multiple movie budgets, I think. Well, maybe not that alone. But the show itself, if it were to be made in live action, would be more than a bunch of their movies combined. So where do I want to go now? Do I really want to go all the way, like, from here all the way down to, like, that? You know what? I can do that smelting while I'm here. I didn't even explore that area just now. Oh well. I'm sure at some point I'll be back. The Vessel of Spirits' resting place. I almost just splatted onto the ground. Wait a second. That light route I just got, I didn't even... Now I know there's a where that shrine is, directly above it. And I didn't even go and get that. Let's do that. I wonder if there's a better use for all my Zonaite besides this. Oops. But, what I was saying, like, me being a little hesitant on them introducing animation to MCU's canon, even though it's not necessarily MCU main, like the Sacred Timeline canon, it's more like the multiverse. It's like, okay, whatever. Other stuff are going to be animated and introduced multiversal-wise, like Spider-Man Freshman Year, there's that, and there's a bunch of external stuff that has been canonized to the MCU multiverse, like the Spider-Verse films, which I still have not seen, because of that goddamn exam ruined everything. It's gonna come out on digital in like half a month from right now, so I'll watch it then. That fucking exam ruined everything for me. I have not seen Transformers yet. I'll try to watch that tomorrow. Man, not even try, I will watch that tomorrow. So I have not seen Guardians 3, Across the Spider-Verse, or Transformers yet. 3 movies that came out around the time of my exam. Which I don't even know if I passed it or not. I'm going in the wrong direction because I see Pose! By the way, you guys know I hate recasts in anything like this where the media, the content is all shared. Because to me it just breaks the immersion. Out of nowhere, just like, wait a second, why does this character look different? So I hate it when characters get recast. But you know what? At this point, the only explanation I could give it is, you know, something happened and this is a variant. I know William Hurt passed away, rest in peace to him, and that's why Harrison Ford is being recast for Thunderbolt Ross. So in my headcanon, it's like, well, we don't know what happened to the original Thunderbolt Ross. Something happened and this is his variant. Okay, just accept it. Don't question it, just accept it. Same thing with other characters that were recast in the MCU, like Rhodey was, Cassie Lang was, what was his name, Fendril? That was a minor one, so, you know what, that one, I don't really care. Oh, big one, Hulk, of course. So it's like, why did these characters look different? I don't know, something happened, they're a variant. The end. And yes, I know some external factors we have no control over, kind of like Terrence Howard leaving, and the passing of certain characters. No, not certain characters, the passing of certain actors. So sometimes you have no choice but to recast, and I understand that. It is what it is. Come on, come on. Group together, group together, group together. Good enough. What? Well, that was a big miss. That was a failure. Where's Riju? I heard one of them died. Why you gotta stand in the gloom like that? The Boss Bokoblin dead? Yeah. Oh, come on. See, this is why I don't want to use light roots anymore, because they're permanent. If they despawned over time, then yeah, I would use more of them. But since they're permanent, it's like, I don't really want to use them, since I know at some point I'm gonna get the entire depth lit up. So it's kind of just pointless. How do I get behind the Spirit Temple? Is this a big climb? Why, yes it is. Wait, too far? And you know, my my theory about, well, my theory just now about characters being recast being variants, you could say, wouldn't you notice that certain someone looks different if they were variants? Like, wouldn't Scott Lang know that his daughter looks different because that's a variant? Well, another unexplained mystery. Just don't worry about it, just accept it. I see no light route in that direction because there's a wall in my way. I don't see a single thing in front of me. Is there an end to this, or is this just a flat-out wall? Ooh, this might be tough because I see there's walls. Never mind. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I see there's walls around here. So my best bet would be to get to this one and to head over there. Now, question is, how is this one surrounded? Ooh, wait a second. There's a depth pit right there. Chasm opening. Damn, nothing above it that I can, you know, fly from up there. Okay, let's do that. I'm going to finish up that thing in Pokemon Go before it turns midnight. I need to go this direction. Fair and Sky Archipelago. Oh, hello. Have I been here before? It's been a while since we've explored anything for the Sky Islands. What is that I see? That's a Korok. I see that's a Korok I already got, so I already came here before. Oh yeah, that's what I had to do to get to that one. I had to dive from here down to that flushing toilet down there. That's what this is. So yes, I have been here. We still have not taken down a single Gleeok yet. How embarrassing. Wow, this is a very small opening. Okay, let's see. Wait. So, that direction. I didn't even need to open my map for that. I don't see it. What the hell? That's why, because there's a wall in my way. Okay, so this wall I see ends here. It should be that if I walk straight, I should find it. But question is, how many walls are around this area? How is it I should be looking right at it? Now I see it. There we go. I was about to say, I'm looking right at it, and yet I don't see it. Never mind. Alright, let's take a look at what this area looks like. That's not what I expected. I didn't expect a sperm cell design. So we are very much in just a tunnel. A tunnel that looks like there's nothing to gain in here. Absolutely nothing. So it only goes up to over here. So there's another shrine somewhere over here. Or maybe a little bit further out, like maybe around here. Oh boy. Well, that's not going to be easy to find. Ideally, I would have to search for it coming from here, somewhere here, and then I go this direction to find it. Because this is probably also surrounded by walls. Uh, wait, I didn't even do that shrine I said earlier. Which one is it? Uh-oh. Okay, I see there's no shrine here. We may need to, at some point soon, find a different spot and just search for light roots there. We can look for other chasm entrances, because there's always usually a shrine right around there. There was a piece of dust floating around. Like, say, find a random chasm. Like, say, right, no, I think we already tried that one. Maybe. This chasm. There should be a light root somewhere nearby once we fall. Or... there's other chasms elsewhere. Okay, yes, to the yellow. Still no shiny Celebi. It would be awesome if I got it here while I'm doing this, so I could show you guys. So this chasm is the one I just went down. Wait, this is the spot with the 3 Hinoxes. That's what the spot is. So this shrine is probably underground, because I don't see one. I would have seen one long ago if it was just on the surface. Is there a Korok here? Looks like this is a prime spot for a Korok. No. We could try to look for a Bloopy, because Bloopies usually mean there's a cave nearby. I do not see one. Okay. Time to look up where the cave is. And then I do the rest. Okay, Tokiyy. So let's see. There is a cave entrance. Oh, I have it paused. That's why it's not moving. There's a cave entrance right at Okel's navel. Navel. Okay, yeah, so right around here, I think. Wait, is this a spot? No! No, Okel's navel is up here. So I need to go over there. You already know. You probably know yourself that this is probably faster. Man, that's a pretty long distance between a cave entrance and a shrine. But we're going to do it. Man, if only it was night, I could maybe get a star fragment while doing this. Okay, looks like there's a cave entrance right there. Anything else for me to pick up while I'm here? A Korok, maybe? Bloopy. Oh wow, look at all those rupees. My stamina. Do it again. Wow, this Octorok eyeball is sturdy enough to break its rock. There wouldn't happen to be like a treasure chest in this water, would it? No. I got a raid invitation on Pokemon Go to do a Mega Tyranitar raid. Okay, put on my stealth armor because lizards. Okay, it's too narrow for Minoru. Perfect. Ooh, an electric-like. Do I have? No, I don't have a full set of shock resistance. I appreciate none of you guys helping me out with this, by the way. You saw that? None of them helped me out with that. A shield? Yep. Man, I don't want that garbage. And this is a light chest, so I don't really care to open this one. It is payday. Oh shit, it's one of these. Excuse me. This looks like ruins. Okay, that other one there is too steep to pick up. I could try. Yes! Got them both. Any other ones up there? Uh-huh. Yeah, I know what to do here. I was about to say, are the doors gonna open for me or what? Spirit Temple? That one room in the Spirit Temple? Alright, let me take a look at what I'm working with. Wow, that's... Okay, so they just despawn. How nice. How convenient. Anyways, I'm done with Pokemon Go. Unless I have any gifts to open. Nope. Oh, wait. Okay, now I'm done. I haven't claimed the research task yet for the day. Well, good thing I did, because I only have like 7 minutes left before it turns midnight. Anyways, I don't know what they want me to use those boards for. Just want to take a look around. Anything for me to pick up? You know, me lifting this reminds me of something that happened earlier today. So, earlier today I was... Oh god. I was getting gas with my mom. And they were doing construction on the road that was on the way to the gas station. This guy, he was holding up the slow sign. There's a platform up there. Is there one up there? I don't see one. This guy was holding up a slow sign, like telling drivers to slow down in that area because of the construction. Well, as we were driving by, he was just like watching us as we were driving, and he was smiling like yeah, thank you for slowing down. It's like, okay, like, do people not slow down when they see a slow sign? He was smiling at us as if he was thanking us for listening. Well, okay, these rocks just spawn from nowhere. Legitimately. I wonder what's up there. If I could climb up there, see what's up there. Rupees? No, it's an 8-fold blade. Okay, 1 second. You know what? Maybe I should fuse... Yeah, pick this back up. Shit, never mind. And then pick up the Traveler's Sword. Pick up the 8-fold blade. I hear a Blood Moon. Nope, equip this. I'm not gonna go for Critical Cook since I'm already here doing this. I'm very curious, if I climbed up there, what is there? Maybe it's the bubble. But you know, about regarding that gas station that I went to this morning, this is the talk This is like sort of what I said yesterday about technology and like becoming too relaxed because of how convenient technology is making lives. Now, this one doesn't necessarily relate to that, since it's not necessarily a convenience, uh, more a thing to be just cautious about, like a caution there, more caution. So gas stations nowadays are pay first, like pay only first. So you have to pay first before you can get the gas. You know, sometimes in the past, it was you fill up your car and then you pay for how much gas you took. But now you have to pay first. So say you put in like $80 for gas, you can only get $80 worth of gas. Does that fill you up? If not, well, I guess you gotta fill it up again, or just accept that you didn't fill up the full tank. Now, this is, once again, what the hell is this? If this was any other Zelda game, it would look like that's a button I need to push down, maybe with my Megaton hammer. Now, you guys know I'm too stupid to know how this stuff works, so it's kind of inconvenient for me to have to pay first and then have to get the gas. Because to me, it seems easier to get the gas first, and then I walk into the gas station and pay with cash. That always seems easier to me instead of sticking my card in first, paying, say, $80 first, and then I get $80 worth of gas. Like, it just seems easier to me to get the gas first and then pay for it inside with cash. Now, I get that it's a cautious thing, because people can easily just take the gas and just drive off without paying. So hence, you pay first. Now, I have, not me, but like a false alarm. Like, say, okay, you do steal the gas, what then? How can you be charged for it? Well, gas stations have cameras. If you're suspected for not paying for gas, they'll... Oh my god. They'll suspect you... Not suspect you. They'll have your car on the cameras. They'll track down your license plate and get into contacts with you. Because there was one time... This was not us. This was a false alarm. But there was one time we got a call from the police saying, we suspect you did not pay at this gas station on this day. But then, you know, we looked through our records and yeah, we sure as hell paid. So it was a mistake. So yes, if you don't pay, then they can track you down. But then my mom brought up a point, one argument earlier today, like, well, what if someone's about to fly overseas and never come back? They could just get the gas and just never come back. But then again, it's like, then what you gonna do with that car? It's like, you know, it's a cautious thing where you pay first before you get the gas, just in case. But that makes it more inconvenient for me, because I'm too stupid to understand paying first with a card. I could go inside and pay cash first, and then they'll activate the gas pump and only allow me to get as much as I paid for. But it's like, man, it just seems inconvenient. At least to me. Really? A blessing? Then again, I did look up where this cave started, but this cave wasn't too much of a challenge. I did just walk right past it. I suppose if I did it properly, it would be somewhat of a challenge. So, okay. Okay, I can get this one being a blessing. It is now midnight. Okay, I want to go over there and climb up to see what's over there. Anything I can fuse this to? Wait a second, I have a Traveler's Sword. Come back here, come back here, come back here. I said you gonna come back here. Now come here, come back here and back that ball up. Pause. That's not, I don't know. Wow. That light just now, okay. So there was this path here. Maybe this leads to the bubble? But I also want to see what happens if I climb up that spot. I hear the bubble, alright. Damn it, the bubble scared away the lizard. Seems like nothing else in here. Oh, now the boulders stop, huh? There was an infinite amount of them before, but now they stopped. So I want to see what happens when you climb up this. My, this would be a perfect spot to use Revali's Gale, but they yeeted that out of this game. You probably don't want a giant boulder on your back while you're climbing this. Ah, that's not too far. I can jump this. Is there a platform up here? Kinda doesn't look like it. Kinda looks like there's nothing up here. Yeah, it kinda looks like there's nothing up here. Okay. Good to know, at least. Yeah, that one's blocked off by a couple of walls. And... why? No, I already got this. I don't know how to get... I could look up a guide. Why did I stop doing this one? I could try to make it to this one. That's pretty far, though, from that. Ah, fine. What? No, not the shrine above. Hot. Wow, I still fuse nothing to this yet. I got room for Zonite now. This will be no problem. Hey, mine's bigger than yours. Bruh, you missed. Okay, so there's still you. Bruh. Damn it. I'm hitting Silver Moblin with an 8 damage weapon. What? Oh, right into the gloom. Wasn't there one more enemy over there? Bro, we're just toying with this guy at this point. What weapon do I have? Lock on! I think Minoru dealt that finishing shot. Uh-oh, the horn. The horn, I want that. Anyone else think that horn looks really floppy? Did you complete the mission? Hell no. You tell me. This is my progress so far. So, I have this area gotten. So, I assume I need to start somewhere down here. I don't know, I'm just playing through until I find it. Let's not waste the weapons. I'm really about to do all of the depths before I even get... Wait, no, I can't show it here. Before I get that last Zonai ability. I'm really about to be, like... I'm probably going to be the first person ever to do that. Nah, I'm going to get it before I finish all the depths. But what if I don't? What if I actually do all of the depths? And I still don't figure out where that is? that's it. Okay, that's not too bad. Anyways, what'd you say? Wait a minute, you have the middle finger though. You should have gotten it. Huh? Listen, I don't know what I'm doing in this game. When I play this game again, then I'll know. But for now, it's all blind here. So I see that Talus. Oh well, it's fine. I'll get it eventually. It's just, you know, I should have gotten it long ago. I should have got it at the beginning of the game. And I am now 46, not even halfway done. Not even 50% done. Okay, come here, Minoru, so I can get across this. Okay, this is not a Talus we've defeated yet. Go, 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 go. Don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me. You hit me. Ooh, I see a light route. That's the one I'm going for. No, I'm going for this one, but it's good to know where that one is. I could maybe fly over there. That's a long flight, though. But it's good to know. Thank you. Hey, where's my thunder shock? It didn't reach yet. Okay, now hit it. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. That's not fine. I want my piece of amber. I said I want my piece of amber. Okay, that is fine. Is this an Igneo-Talus? I think it might be. Wait, I can use Sidon for this. Oh, it's fine, though. Wait, 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 Riju, get back here. That acted more like a bomb arrow than it did a lightning strike. You know what? Get rid of this piece of trash first. Stay on, stay on. You never found the Hylian shield yet? It's very simple. Damn it, I tried to go and get Riju's lightning. Figure it out eventually? Yep. If you're like me, you'll find it a little disappointing how you get it, because I was expecting there to be a little bit more to get that thing. Get on! It flung me off just now. Man, I am doing superbly bad at this. Did I just miss with Sidon's water? Oh well, we're about to finish this anyways. This main... I don't think this is an Igneo-Talus. I hear a lot of with this. You know, like the... You know, the sizzling sound. Anyways, I didn't even think about the Talus Heart. I'm not used to the Talus Hearts. I'm still on Breath of the Wild mentality that we don't get a Talus Heart. So I'm definitely going to destroy that Soldier's Claymore, even though it's a huge waste. Okay, so I see the light route right there. I can maybe fly from that light route to that one. Ooh, is that another one I see? The what? Oh no, that's no light route. Wow, it got pretty dark. And this area should be lit up. Okay, so just walking a couple feet away from the perimeter of the volcano means it's not as warm. Alright, what kind of contraptions have they constructed this time? Ooh, Okay. Bumper cars. Okay, there's 3 of them. Oh my god, I see electricity. Oh my god! Ooh, a purple rupee. And a red. Man, Koga pays you guys well. Oh my god. Yo, these guys are actually playing bumper cars. You hear them giggling like they know they're having a good time. Anyways. Yeah, I didn't think that would hit. Come on! This is a good bow I'm wasting. My shield, bruh. Is that my bow as well? Where's my shield for real? Is that it? That little sparkle right there? Gimme, that's an arrow. Where's my shield at? I am messing around too much. Bro, I didn't mean to do that. Gotcha! Okay, that took me way too long. Way longer than it should have. Man, that banana looks rotten. But that's just because of the lighting. Anyway. Oh, I have my shield! Oops. Last night, I dreamed there was a big snake soaring through the sky. Really? Really? There were dragons in the previous game. Then again, the dragons only show themselves to those of the purest of hearts, so I guess it makes sense the Yigas don't see them. Out from the chasm it came, and into a chasm it went. When I saw how big it was, pause, I put on my best disguise until it passed. If I ever really saw something that big, pause, I'd probably faint. I'm glad it was just a dream. Oh, is this like the innocent child inside of these Yigas? Like they could still dream about the dragons? I'm also glad I haven't been skipping my new disguise training. Glory to Master Koga. Man, once again, this Master Koga guy sounds awesome. Maybe I should join the Yiga just to look up to this idol that they all praise so much. Yay, I still don't know what these things are for. We'll find out eventually. I'm guessing after we fight Koga. I hear the dragon. Right there. Man, I really wish I had Revali Scale. Revali Scale, how we took you for granted. I see some big pose there. And I big want. If I could get to them. What is that I see down there? Probably just another enemy site. Enemy spot. Is this enough to give me an updraft? Well, maybe if I go over here. Too hot. Is it just one level? Nope, I need 2. Updraft me! Okay, what don't I have? I might as well take this opportunity to get something I don't have. I have... That's not a horn. That's a piece of amber. I have Dinrail's horn, obviously. Once again, it's stupid that they separated the dragon items. Okay, I don't have anything else from Dinraal. Okay, give me... Okay, hold on. Give me a Fang, since Fangs are kind of harder to get. Okay, so back to that light root. Ooh, I see that Poe over there, and I want that too. I think I was like right next to it, but I had to get something from Dinraal. What was that stuff I saw glowing? Light root in sight. Along with... Oh, that's just other Yiga stuff. Sweet, sweet light root, here I come. What the hell? Oh. Well, I gotta keep that in mind. What? Kate Nim. That just looks like the name of someone who's probably out there somewhere. Is there a Kate Nim out there? Did that say Nim or Nam? Wait a second. Nim. So I'm sure someone named Kate out there has the last name N-I-M. I'm sure there's actually someone out there named that. So, oh, that's a Frox. I thought that was a platform where the dead soldiers give their weapons. Yo, yo, yo. That's a red Frox, though. Really? I didn't hear that? He's just like, he jumped to get the attention or whatever. Okay, so I'm gonna climb up. No, 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 no. I will wait for you to close your gullet before I fly down like so! Mess that up. I forgot they do that. Of course they would play the scariest music for these kind of bosses. No, get on! I saw a piece of flint fall off of you. I see where that flint went. This is stupid, getting this piece of flint first. Bruh! Wow, that's a big waste of weapon durability. I want that piece of Zonite, bruh. This should be the last hit from this bow. Go, 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 go. That thing just shit out a piece of Zonite that just flew all the way over there? Ugh. I see a lot of goodies over there. Ooh, look what I see over there. Man, it's kind of like me running with the Furious 5. That's what it kind of looked like. So I'll try to get that light route and then call it for today. I did also see that other enemy camp that direction, so I'll try to do that as well. Well, the light route's right there. We can make that. Wait, don't climb it like that. Yeah, the enemy camp right there. Too high up. Wah! It's one of those things again. I think I'm gonna go do the enemy camp first. But first, I see a big cluster of poles over here, and I want these as well. And I see those ones and those ones. And I see the heat. I can visibly see the heat. I also need to heal. Ooh, I see a weapon over here. Hold on. Just a quick detour. What's this? I almost thought that was a boomerang. No, I'll fuse the shittier one to this. Oops. Bruh. The hell was that sound just now? This looks like a bigger camp than usual. Hello, anyone home? Where's Minoru? There she is. He's like, hey, someone out there stealing our Zonite. You're armored. Where's the armored one? There you are, right in front of me. It's been a while since I've seen a construct bow. Actually, don't I have space for a bow now? Yeah. What are you doing? I will pick up this one because it is fused to a broadsword. Give me a flurry rush, damn it. Man, it kind of sucks that in this game you don't see the numbers for the health bar. It kind of sucks. Ooh, don't hit that bomb. I can't even tell what's happening! Wow, this one actually lasted quite a while, but it's pretty worn out, so I'll take a fresh one here. So, what do you spit out? Spit out your third one. Nah. I said nah. Alright, it's mining time. Still kind of stupid you can't fuse treasure chests in this game, even if they're opened. I understand closed, but opened, I feel like you could. You should. Unless the ones that's not meant to move, like the stone one here. Nice. And I actually have space for them. Any other ones to hit? Yes. Couple of them over here. I think that's it. Alright, so I'm gonna get that light root and then I'm gonna call it for today. The hell? That is a very bright Poe. Do I dare go get it? Probably. Just one? Yeah. That's not what I wanted to do. Did I drop it yet? No. Since this one's clean... Oh, look at that. It does more damage anyways. Just looking around. Was that big Poe on top of here? Don't you dare hit my red chew jelly. Man, I climb up here. I could just try to fly over to the goddamn light root. Please. If you would. Sir, please. Huh? I don't know if you guys heard the door get, knocked just now. That's a sign that I've been on for too long. Uh-oh, I don't have the stamina. Come on, make it over there, make it over there, make it at least on that so I can stand on it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes! Oh, come on, I should definitely make it to that. Okay, guess not. It's probably too high. Are you serious? Okay. I jump to get that Poe. Even though I see that giant cluster down there. I jump to get this Poe, and then I jump over to the light route. Can't quite make it, that's okay. What? Once again, I'm surprised by that. There's just too many Poes. There are Poes everywhere. There's too many of them. I can't get them all. I want to, though. And if I wasn't, you know, kind of panicking to stop this soon, then I would. But I'll just get that one on top. And get the light route, then that's it for today. Sometimes the controls in this game. I'm just trying to get this fucking Poe. Jeez, that wasn't that hard now, was it? Okay, to the damn light route. Wouldn't hurt to get some of these Poes along the way since we're not going to fly all the way there. Whoa! That must have been scary for Link. You think... It's like when you step and you feel like there would be a spot there to step on, but there's not, so you fall more than you expect. You know, for Link, he expects there to be ground on where to land when he's falling in the dark, but there was not. I was just trying to pick up a second puff shroom because I swear I saw two. I knew another one died around here. Okay, let's, no. Light route. That name reminds me of Mila Kunis. And finally, it took quite a while for me to get to this. What the hell is that over there? That is below... No, that's not below Korok Forest. That's below Typhlo Ruins. Interesting. So we'll probably take a look at that next time. I'm going to end this here. Yes, here. Because I want... Where is it? Where is it? It's so big. It's... There it is. It's hard to lose sight. Thanks to how... It's hard to lose sight of where it is due to how big that is. No, I'm not gonna go for 4 hours. Someone was already knocking at the door, so that already means I've been playing for too long. So I'm gonna end this here, and next time we're gonna see where that leads. I'm curious where that goes to, and see what's not behind. See what's below Typhlo Ruins. All right, one last Celebi encounter. I swear to God, I'm gonna play through this entire game before I get the Celebi. Damn it, if only that was. Okay. See you guys next time.